cannot see you. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. Stones they clear, Bombay. Nigga, I stay in my own lane. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. Stones they clear, Bombay. Nigga, I stay in my own lane. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. Stones they clear, Bombay. Nigga, I stay in my own lane. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. Stones they clear, Bombay. Nigga, I stay in my own lane. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. Why can't you lesser? I'm keeping my gun on the dresser. Let it come faster. Fuck it, I'm not calling you master. Hell no. That's what you think when you acting up. Taking our garbage like trash truck. You better go back up for your ass get smacked up. Smelling like cheese, you a cracker. Already smell like a stacker. Never forget what you did to us. Controlling our people and whipping us. Did you forget that that skin is tough? Talk about crackers a factor. Waking my people up faster. Coming at you like a NASCAR. Running the race, I'm a track star. I'm a glass of own race. That's what they be killing by. Heavy hitters, we handle line. Nigga, man, no breath fire. I got the juice, Capri Sun. Spitting the truth, it's in my heart. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. Stones that clear, Bombay. Nigga, I stay in my own lane. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. Stones that clear, Bombay. Nigga, I stay in my own lane. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. Stones that clear, Bombay. Nigga, I stay in my own lane. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. Stones that clear, Bombay. Nigga, I stay in my own lane. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. Nigga, be in up for women. Yeah, I shit it, no chitlins. Smoother than smooth, no pimping. Keep a gun and no crimping. Passing the bottle like baby butter. No need for a tidbit. Softer than biscuit. I'm talking about crackers, the fuckers is wicked. And these niggas they follow. Cold-hearted they hollow. Feel that fire spiral. Get Howard out, Lego man, murder cop, no impersonating. Ray Charles, Jamie Foxx, watch out there. Pray to get Howard, he hit me with hookah or jab. If I compare, the life that I live is a bucket of crabs. Under a spell, spitting a wishing well to wish you well. I for the power I never dishonor, but time will tell. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. Stones they clear, Bombay. Nigga, I stay in my own lane. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. Stones they clear, Bombay. Nigga, I stay in my own lane. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. Stones they clear, Bombay. Nigga, I stay in my own lane. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray. Stones they clear, Bombay. Nigga, I stay in my own lane. I cannot see you, I'm Charles Ray.
I'm always shopping the Real. They drop over 10.
Whew, my bad. That was difficult to stop this thing from playing. Han, shalom, grace and peace to you too, Malak. I see you out there in the chat. Shalom.
Shalom.
Maranatha, man. So we are on another Shabbat. All praises to the Most High. And with that being said, we have a lesson. Once again, today is the golden calf in the last days amongst Israel. The golden calf. We got a little bit into this last night, but we didn't get to finish the whole thing. But it's better to save it for a lesson anyways. It's a good lesson for everybody to hear on in, because it's actually a message that can be actually received from almost any party that is biblically enthusiastic. So with that being said, let me get a jam in the background. I thought I had a jam going. Okay. All right. Oh, that seems too loud. Give me a second. All right. So first things first is, of course, we're going to go into the Bible. So we're going to go to the book of Exodus chapter 32. I'm going to share the screen. All right. Exodus, starting at 32. And watch this. It says, so we're going to do today, we're going to do a comparison. All right. And we're going to make a connection between the story of, or the lesson, I'll say, not really a story. I don't like to say story. They're lessons. This is a lesson and an example that has been set out in the book of Exodus when they're dealing with the golden calf immediately after the children of Israel came out of bondage and received an introduction with the God that they have been saved through, and they immediately went out of the way. We are going to make a comparison with what transpired in the scripts back then with the ancient Israelites, with the people that we see today. All right, so here it goes at Exodus 32, verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aharon and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we know not what is become of him. And that is the same thing where we're at. When I see that we're waiting for the arrival. When I say we, I'm talking about as a biblical enthusiastic set of people. Just speaking for all biblical enthusiasts, whether you're an Israelite or you're still practicing Christianity or Catholicism, which one it is, whatever denomination or walk. Most people are waiting for, when I say most, I'm talking about those that actually have sense and that is not completely corrupted to the core. Those that got most common sense have accepted Christ and they are anticipating on his arrival. And a lot of people don't believe that he is here today, and they don't believe, or a lot of people won't believe that when Christ does show up, when he is present in our domain, that he will be taking notes on what we do, watching over us, monitoring our behavior as we come into the truth of the awakening. And some of us display ourselves appropriately, and some of us use blasphemous mentalities and teachings and doctrines and things of this sort and add them to the awakening of Christ. Christ sees all these things. He's upon us as a thief in the night. A thief in the night will be all up in your mix without you realizing it. That's the thief. So we see that our people have been waiting for Christ, just as these people back then, the ancient Israelites, was waiting for their leader, Moses. And Moses, it appeared as if he was delaying his time, or whatever case that it was. Moses wasn't there at the time when these people is expecting Moses to be there with them, dealing with them. So what did these people do? We're going to do the same thing, as we're in the same level of expectation of an arrival of our leader. These people was an expectation for the arrival or the returning of their leader coming down from the mountain. We're still doing the same thing. It's no different from what was going on with the ancient Israelites and what we're going and Moses and what we're going through with Christ as the modern day Israelites. And then we got Christians that falls right along that also. So he says, and Aaron said unto them, break off your golden earrings, which are in your ears of your wives, and your sons and your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool, after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought you up out of the land of Egypt. And see, when we look and say, oh, okay, what do we learn from this right here? And how are we conducting that same behavior, as in taking our earrings and casting them to the residing priest? It's the same thing as when our people are taking their valuables still to this day. Back in those days, these were the valuables that they received from the Egyptians when they, quote unquote, robbed the Egyptians. They received all these earrings and these articles of gold and jewelry. Well, the same thing as we're doing right now is our values. We take our values, whether we're giving it to the pastor and, quote unquote, paying our tithes, and then we believe that right there is going to be the end all says all about salvation, and what part that you got to hold up when it comes down to walking this walk with God. Then we got the people that is taking their other earnings, the other people taking their earnings, I'll say, and they will spend them things on a bunch of self-fulfilling and self-glorifying items, such as designer sneakers, designer bags, jewelry, and we get these things, we work up to get those things, and then we turn around and then we will say at the exact same time, God is blessing me. God is on my side. God loves me. See these things that I have acquired. These are all mentalities that has been derived from a false church system. That's why it makes a lot of sense to be able to compare what we're doing with our money and our riches, and then re-equating all of that, like it says in the scriptures, gain will be computed or considered as godliness. It's not a coincidence that we're doing the same thing. Is they use their victuals or their valuables and turn them into a representation of their godliness. The same thing is what we're doing today. We take our valuables, we take our quote unquote worldly success or our worldly small accomplishments, which don't mean anything, but we take them and hold them high in this society amongst the blacks. And then we equate those things as God is on your side, God has been blessing you, God got your back, He's gonna always be your friend, he's your buddy, your pal, you got a personal relationship with them. All these things are a false God, that because this is not the God of the Bible. These are false gods that we have just made up. We made up this, we sit around and we make up our own version on how we're going to worship God and how God actually deals with us and what we determine those bases off of, and they're not actually biblically founded. We come up with this out of our own minds. We make this up. Pastor Porkchop, he reinforces it when you go inside the church. He's making it up too, saying the same thing. They call it prosperity doctrine. So he says, watch this. So at 4, he says, and he received them at their hand and fashioned it with a graven tool, after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. Manufactured, manipulated, man-made God. Come on. Are we trying to say that this right here was only a lesson to cast shame on the ancient Israelite crowd so we can just point the finger at them and say, look how they were? No, because we go to Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written before time were written for our learning, that we through and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So these are lessons that had a specific target, meaning to a specific people about a specific in particular topic or an event. So this right here is what I can get out of reading this. I look at this and then I make a comparison to us and say, where does this fit? And I'm like, oh, the manufacturing of your own gods, using your valuable items to determine and depict this God. I'm like, oh, that's us. We do the same thing still. We do the exact same thing. Even today, we got brothers that call themselves Israelites, and they are. But what I'm saying, that they call themselves Israelites, I'm saying these are professing, consciously aware, law, statutes, and commandments abiders. But at the same time, they follow after a doctrine which has replaced the effect of God. Honestly. Replace the effect of God, because God said that he's our shield and our reward. It's easy to find that. That's in Genesis 15, I believe, but I'm just going to pull up the word shield so you guys can know how to just quick reference that. You see? You type in the word shield, and you see in Genesis 15:1, after these things, the word of the Lord came unto Abraham, or Abram, in a vision, saying, fear not, Abram, I am your shield and your exceeding great reward.
God.
You're like, oh. And we can see it again in Deuteronomy 33 also. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved of the Lord, the shield of your help, and who is the sword of thy excellency. And thy enemies shall be found liars unto you, and you shall tread upon their high places.
Yo, hey, my bad. I don't mean to cut you off, but I see that Shalom, he said, yeah, but everyone told Moses that they wanted him to mediate. Nobody asked Christ to mediate except you people that came after his death. So if you look into the scriptures, people's been mediating for the Israelites since after Moses. There's always been somebody mediating between the Israelites and the Most High God. It's called the prophets.
Wait a minute, what is he talking about? I don't even get the statement.
When Moses went up and they like, you know what I mean, the presence of God was around, and then the Israelites said, hey man, we don't want to, you know what I mean, they were scared, you know what I mean, they told Moses to go basically mediate for them. He's saying that nobody did that for Christ.
So, like, I don't know if the statement that he's making is actually true, because honestly, it's going over my head still. But at the same time, my response to that would be so what? Oh well. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel. Like, oh well, so what? Moving on. That doesn't mean anything. Why are we stringing that and that? Who cares? All right, the Israelites didn't want to deal with God directly, and I'm gonna let you guys know. A lot of people still ain't trying to deal with God directly. God tells us to go and do not suffer our people to sin. God has certain people that he has made them their watchmen. God has told certain people that if you have enough common sense to be able to separate the vile from the clean, all right, then God has made you as his mouth. But people, we don't want to do that. We don't want to be his God mouth. A lot of people are just respecters of persons. Instead of telling people what God actually really would want for you to say, like, man, you wicked. Like what? Like the way that you treat people on your platform is wicked. You're not going to be the guy that anybody is actually going to be going after, following after, because you're a bad leader. Nobody says stuff like that. Everybody kind of sits around, high fives each other, tell each other, man, you know what I'm saying? You teach, brother. And he ain't saying nothing but just cussing and fussing and anti-Christ when he's going to look at Christ. And you find out Christ is telling us how to build ourselves back up. How to actually turn this from you just being a religious quack on, you know what I mean, on your own personal time on the internet, to actually coming up with an organization, a movement that not only your people can benefit from, the other folks can look in and say like, dang, you know, and fulfill that scripture. This is actually a smart people. They're actually wise. But we don't do that when we stay inside the house, only following like Christianity concepts. Because these are concepts that comes from not real Christians, but false Christians. This is more of an Islamic approach to getting into the kingdom. You just kind of just work on yourself, try to become smarter and smarter, just do all this stuff, all about self-building, and the next thing you know what I'm saying, you die and you go to heaven. That's Islam. That's not the Bible. The Bible tells you, like, man, this is a group effort, this is a group mission, it was a group punishment, so it's gonna have to be a group retribution. If you guys don't gather yourselves together, Zephaniah 2:1, y'all just violate all these things of the Bible and you just kind of go about it your own way, and you waiting for the, I will wonder for an Old Testament person. I say, what are we waiting for? Old Testament only? What are we doing? If we don't believe in Christ and we're not waiting for the arrival of Christ and some big thing to be happening, what are we waiting for? Like, oh, we're waiting for the sky to crack. All right, don't hold your breath. Now, don't hold your breath. Now, watch this. So, once again, like I said, we make up our own gods. And then when they say, "Oh, well, you put it, you having Christ as your mediator," there was always a mediator. The angel of the Lord is the mediator. Correct? This is a mediator right here. Look. Behold, I send an angel before you to keep you in the way and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. To sum that all up in one word, mediator. Come on, man. But our people, like I say, they don't want to follow after God. They want to follow after their own imaginations on what their expectation of what God wants from them. But you're making it up. You don't have no biblical backing to say anything that we actually literally say that's deviating outside of this book. Nobody has no biblical backing for denying Christ. There's nothing in there that tells you, hey, and then there's going to be a man that pretends to be part of our tribe and he's going to lead many people astray. You would think that something so pandemonial would be prophesied about, but instead you got the complete contrary. You got them prophesying about a certain God that's going to fulfill and fit all these certain attributes, and you look and you can see, you're like, oh man, that happened. It actually really did happen. But instead we choose to just disvalue all of that. You didn't say, oh, well, I'm Old Testament only, as if you're saying something sophisticated. That's not being sophisticated to acknowledge only half of a book. That's embarrassing to any other scholastic setting of any degree of studies. They would look at you and be like, that doesn't make sense. If half the book is BS, the whole book is BS. You should know that. Like, huh? Let me help you out real quick. If half of the book is bull crap, the whole book is bull crap, man. The whole book. And if you say, well, no, half of it is legit, then the whole thing is legit. Read it on, watch this. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation and said, tomorrow is a feast to Yahweh. And they rose up early in the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to play. And that's exactly what's going on, man. Resorted right back to childish behavior. What do we do now? We eat and we drink. We get that meat. Some of us is staying just with the milk approach. But one thing that you'll always see that they all have in common, though, they tripping. Everybody. The moment that you try to have it's hard to say what it is. I really just want to call it a discussion. When you have a discussion with these people, a simple discussion can turn into, it can blow up into just the craziest altercation that you had all week with a person. And you'd be like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be the guy. These are supposed to be the people that is supposed to be mature in the scripts, not children in the scripts. These are supposed to be the people that when you come around them, this is some real serious warrior, tribal warrior type of vibe coming from these cats. Not tribal tyrants. We're talking about a warrior, someone that'll kill and die for the people of his own people. Like, no, he's not going to come at them roughly and treat them harshly and bitter. This dude has signed up and made an oath to the Lord that this dude is going to be all about that life for his people and for his God. And what we got, though, we don't have that, man. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Israel, that ain't there. These people, we got to do like Judah Nazareth. Every time I look at this stupid clown, he's trying to curse Israelites. He don't say nothing about no other nationality on earth. This punk will sit around here and actually say some stuff like, yeah, Chinese, it's possible that even the Japanese is Israel, as he snuggles with an Asian woman. And I'm like, dang, all right, whatever. So you must love Israel, to where that love has extended all the way to some possible Japanese folks. All right, cool. It ain't nothing like that. Treat their own people like dirt. Treat their own people like dirt. That's childishness. None of this is mature-minded adult behavior. You're not going to see any of these activities, none of these mentalities being displayed amongst actual leaders of countries. They don't act like it. Nobody that's actually responsible for other people get away with displaying those type of qualities. You will never, ever be a representation of any set of people when you are like you're completely nuts. You're a vicious tyrant to your own. But when it comes down to a white man, or when it comes down to a Kemetic dude that's literally trying to attack Israelites and try to teach our people to turn away from God because it's supposed to be a bunch of baloney or whatever they say over there. That dude will come around and these same cats will be calling themselves peasants, groveling at people's feet. I'm just trying to tell you, man. At the end of the day, look. On the morrow, they rose up early on the morrow. We in that time right now. We in that new day. The light is shining. Christ is here to restore his kingdom. We see the re-establishment of the kingdom. It's happening, roughly. It's slow. It's going on slowly but surely. And yes, we got a lot of bumps along the way, but it's happening. It's here. We're on the morrow. We're in the new day.
That's that birth pains, man.
That's right. But at the end of the day, though, our people are You know, they're all in when it comes down to the burnt offerings. That's the barbecue. Yeah, I said it. The burnt offerings, yeah, that's the barbecue. The peace offerings, that be the gifts. That be the things that people, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's all about all that. Especially when it comes down to the Israelite thing. They'll be like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep a feast day or two. You're like, oh, okay, y'all ready to keep the feast days. Y'all barbecuing on them and all that. Oh, cool, that's cool. Y'all got the wine. Some of y'all got some herbs. Other folks, you guys just eat meats and stuff, whatever, that's fine. But how you treat people? Oh, you haven't grown in that area. You still out here playing with us. You playing with this. Never stood up serious. You got people that, you know, they want to come out to the Sabbath. Yeah, I said it. You got people that do want to come out to the Sabbath, but then when they at the Sabbath, they not Shabbating. Yeah, I said that. That's a word that's a word now, I guess. Hey, man, Shabbating. Art, what are you doing right now? I'm Shabbating. Now it's a word, right? English. But now you got people that comes out and they ain't Shabbating. Stop being fake. Stop being fake. Because when you come out to the Sabbath and you're not really Shabbating, you're not being a real nigga, even though you're on some nigga stuff. You ain't even being a real nigga, and you're not even being a real Israelite. Because a real nigga, excuse my language, a real nigga, he ain't gonna be standing out there with no Israelites.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a real nigga. A real nigga. He ain't got time for all that. That right there is weirdo swear stuff. Yeah, I said it. It is. I know. I can go inside of the head of them crazy people. I know what they think. Not every last one of them. Some of them respect God enough to recognize and respect. But they ain't about to be out there. But then some other folks, they looking right at it. They're like, what are these guys doing? What the heck are they talking? All right, they're weird. Niggas out here with a Bible standing out here, dressed all weird and stuff. And they just push. They don't care. Why? Because he's actually a real nigga. Go over there and mess with him. He'll bop you upside your head. He might got a gun. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere close in the vicinity. All that, man. He's a real nigga. Take your life in a heartbeat. Don't care about going to jail. He won't snitch on none of his homeboys. None of that stuff. We all know what a real nigga is. The rappers. He ain't gonna be out here. So which one are you gonna be? Are you gonna be a real nigga, or are you gonna be a real Israelite?
Right.
You gotta make a decision, because other than that, you're just playing with it. That's the whole thing about bringing your burnt offerings, bringing your peace offerings, sitting down, eating and drinking, and then you rising up to go get on some. I'm trying to look for the word for it they used to use, and immaturity, whatever. Side conversations about frivolous nothings. Oh yeah, man. Remember when Whoop-de-Whoop shot Whoop-de-Whoop?
Bangtails.
Huh?
Bangtails.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Vain tales, man. You know? And it's just like, man, you got to make a decision on what you're really trying to do. And if you ain't really about that life, then just step back and sit down. Sit down. Worship Baal. Because if you actually 100% worship Baal, you would be way better off by being than being a half stepper of worshiping Baal. Yeah, I said it. The Bible actually and actually supports that statement too. I'm just paraphrasing, but it's in the Bible. You'd be better off being full-fledged Baal worship than to be sitting around there half-stepping it. Watch this. Then the Lord said unto Moses, go and get you down, for your people, which thou brought out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. They have turned quickly. They have turned aside quickly out of the way, which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it. and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, these be thy gods. Because a lot of people will have all kinds of non-biblical behavior, non-biblical iconographies, like six-pointed stars and all that, and then they will literally have the audacity to say that they are part of the team of God. They will actually believe it. They will believe it. Even though they have instantaneously turned aside from the commandment of God. Yeah, I type up stuff to get cool pictures. They'll be on this. Can y'all see the screen?
Nope. Yeah.
They pushing this instantaneously. And then they say, well, we see that the Israelites in this area, they was doing it. They had it. You're like, yeah, I know. That's the whole point. You can see it in the Bible. They telling the Israelites, y'all gotta drop this star worship. Y'all keep doing it. It's all the way. It's being forbidden in the book of Deuteronomy. It lets you know, like, oh, this was a concept that people were struggling with even back then.
Right.
And it goes.
You see that go?
Exodus. I mean,
hey, you see that top one? You see the top one right there, right?
Huh?
You see that top one? Matter of fact, the top one, the one right under it, and the one on to the right at the end on the bottom. All three of those letting you know that this star is round.
Right.
They say, oh, star is round according to the Bible. Well, if you look at the circumference of this thing that you got, it's round too. But it also says that it's blazing. That's why it got those points out. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't just mean round. It means blazing too.
That's right. It means blazing also. As in a star.
That's right.
With the rays. It's not like you're not allowed to just sit around here and take away from what even an elementary child knows. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to sit here and try to convince an elementary child that he's not looking at the geometrical shape called a star. You're a liar. You're disrespecting people's intelligence. That's literally, people should be insulted. Honestly, they should be insulted. You'd be like, wait a minute, you're going to tell me that that's not a star? No, it's a lily. You're like, okay, now you're trying to insult my intelligence.
Right.
You're like, stop, be quiet. Don't say nothing to me no more. And that's why a lot of people kind of look at the Israelites and be like, yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe. It's because they too headstrong.
They might say that that's David's name, David's signet. No, David's signet would have been Judah.
Did somebody say that?
Yeah, people try to say that. No, not right here. You know what I mean? Brothers that, you know what I mean, you talked to before. They try to say that that's David's signet. David's signet would have been Judah. It wouldn't have been die and die.
Right.
Like they say that's what that's supposed to be. Die and die. Come on, man.
And let me tell you a crazy thing too about this is when we look in the scripts, all the items and the things that God wanted us to make, he made a clear description on how he wanted us to make them. What he wanted them to look like. He never said anything in the fashion of this at all.
That's right.
So where in the heck is these guys calling themselves being qualified to be able to say that this is something that we're taking away from the heathens? When there's nothing in the Bible that gives us a description that this was anything specifically we were dealing with. You can't say it.
It's not in there.
Huh?
It's not in there.
It's not in there. They try to go to Amos 5 and be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, the star of our God. You're like, yeah, that was on the list of all this new stuff y'all all made up, including your own God.
Yeah, Moloch.
You're like, come on now, man. Like, that's all you got to do is just make up your own God. Make up your own God, and you are doing the Moloch worship. Did you see the picture? Can y'all see the screen? Look at this. Look what Moloch is. This is Moloch. At the top, the devil. Moloch in Hebrew. That's not Moloch. It's Nabar.
Nabar, y'all. Yeah.
Nabar, y'all. Whatever. Okay, but look what it says. Makes one worse off than ever before. What? Makes one worse off than ever before.
Whoa.
Come on now.
Because listen though, like, you know what I mean, the dudes that we be dealing with, we already know. You know what I mean? We can see, like, okay, you probably wasn't even like this before you even got into the truth. Before you even started taking on these stars and stuff. You know what I mean? You probably just, you know what I mean, a normal dude. But now that you know what I mean, following this certain ideology, you worse than you was before.
Way worse. Think about it. How many times how many times you think that dude that quack Judah Nazareth said to first people before he called himself an Israelite? He probably never did it once in his life. Like other than rapping, but I'm talking about like deliberately, like I'm trying to put a curse on people that believe this, or I want to place a curse on people that say that, or I want to place a curse on people that don't do this. And you look and you be like, what are you doing, man? You like, you ain't never did nothing that vile to your own people before. Now that you call yourself an Israelite, now you're cursing the Israelites? You useless, worthless piece of crap. Don't you know how unproductive and non-important you have just now made yourself? Nobody needs this. Even Christ lets us know, like, man, the Son of Man comes not to condemn men's lives, but to save them. It says in Deuteronomy 12:3, cursed shall they be that curses you, and blessed shall they be that blesses you. It says in the book of Numbers, I think it's chapter, I forgot what chapter it's in. I think it's 15 somewhere. Don't quote me on what chapter it is, but I can get it if you want to call my bluff. But it's when we're dealing with Balak and Balaam. God even lets us know, like, you can't curse Israel. He's like, why? He's like, because at this moment they are actually blessed. Like, why? Because God now is calling off the 400-year punishment. He's calling off the mental darkening of our minds. That right there lets you know, like, okay, God has shown compassion on us. You're like, oh, so now we're back to the people that is now being blessed by God. We're not the people that now just only got the curse coming our way. Cool. So when Judah tries to curse everybody that believes like in Christ, he's really messing up then. Like, yeah. What he's actually doing is bringing curses upon himself. That's why he don't let me on the panel no more. Because the last time he had me on the panel, he tried to curse me, and then he ended up extremely ill.
Yeah.
After that, he learned. Because he doesn't want to turn from his wicked ways. He doesn't want to repent for what he's done. What he'd rather do now is just hide from the face of God. Because God tells you that you need to go ahead and repent. And you know what I mean? Don't suffer sin on yourself. Especially on another person's accord, if you think that they are wrong, if you believe that, you know what I mean, he was justified to, you know, do whatever he did. But it's like, hey, man,
these dudes be tired.
It says that you shall not curse the deaf or the blind. So whether I don't want to hear what you're saying, or whether I don't see what you're saying, You're not allowed to try to send a curse on your people because of that, idiot.
Right.
Now you're way worse off than you were ever before. And look, you tricked mortals.
Man, dang, that's crazy.
Look, and they trick mortals into being bound and accepts child sacrifice.
Listen to Chill
They
Hop
accept
with your
child
screen
sacrifice
and study
even when they want to
uninterrupted. Try YouTube
destroy
Premium on us.
God's people. They wish death on their own people. It's like, wait a minute though, I'm Rebecca's child. I ain't your child. You wishing death and harm and hurt on somebody else's kid. That ain't your kid. You got a lot of nerve to be sitting around there trying to hope that some woman out there is going to be looking at the death of their child. It already tells us that Rebecca sees all the stuff that goes down with us and she mourns over this stuff. And then here's a stupid, arrogant, another one of her children trying to wish more hurt and harm onto our people. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Unqualified teachers. That's one of the things that they warned us that we're going to have in the last days. And these unqualified teachers, like Aaron was in this moment right here, he was teaching in an unqualified fashion. He didn't even know enough of the laws. He didn't know enough of the laws to be sitting around there pulling this stunt. We didn't even
wonder what that word means right there. The bar, y'all.
We didn't even get to the book of Leviticus yet. This dude wasn't even anointed as a priest yet. And lo and behold, he took it upon himself. People didn't catch that. He wasn't anointed as a priest yet. He didn't know any of the Levitical practices and none of the sanctification for him to actually take upon himself and start going about his own form and fashion of worship. He didn't even have no qualifications to pull this stunt.
Talking about Aaron, right?
Talking about Aaron. He was not qualified to pull that stunt.
That's right.
He was the prophet at that moment. He was not the priest at that moment yet.
That's right.
Right? He was still what God told him. He told Moses, you are going to be as God to Pharaoh. And Aaron, you're going to be as Moses' prophet. Nobody told him to go and do none of that stuff. They tricked mortals into being bound. And that's actually what they did over there with the worshiping of Baal, and we do it still to this day. Cause ourselves to be still punished. Teaching our people how to still have uncleanness.
The curses upon us.
Right. With this uncleanness, with this defilement. Because Christ let you know you're going to be defiled by what comes out of your mouth, and you sit around there trying to curse people, or you sit around there talking crap, or undermining the word of God when it comes out. Like we even had a brother that last night I seen it. When the word of God comes out, the dude actually literally ran.
What?
He ran. He literally got out of the vicinity of ears reach, and it was like, what's going on? Like, being an Israelite ain't even dope. Being an Israelite is only cool if you're trying to solve the problem. Okay? If you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, get some order.
If you say, who the heck is Israel? Or what is the problem with these Negroes? Why they don't seem to be able to just get it? Then you'd be like, oh, you guys are Israel. Wow, thank you. That's dope. No. You being Israel don't mean that you're dope. You finding out that you're Israel is dope to the question about who they are.
Right, exactly. Come on, man.
Or how do you solve your problem? How do you solve the Negro problem? You're like, they gotta address life as if they are Israel. You're like, okay, that's cool. You're like, so Israel is being Israel is dope? Absolutely not. According to the Bible, absolutely not. Being Israel is, watch, you read, check this out. Watch this. Being an Israelite ain't dope. That ain't a compliment. That don't mean that you won.
Nope.
People think that they on the winning team. They're like, oh, snaps. I'm an Israelite. And then folks that say, You tell them, oh, you guys ain't Israel. They actually feel like you're losing. They're like, dang, this is you taken away from me. You're like, don't you realize that you not being Israel means that it's going to be really, really easy for you to do right. It's going to be easy for you to learn. It's going to be easy for you to change your behavior. It's going to be easy.
You're not stiff-necked and hard-headed, Dan.
Come on now.
You're not a rebellious nation.
Look, and the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. It is a what?
Stiff-necked people.
No. They're smart. Stiff-necked people. Wait a minute. I thought that they were very creative. They are a stiff-necked people. Wait a minute. I thought he said that we're special. No. He said, no, it is a stiff-necked people. You ain't special. You're not told. You ain't got nothing. Don't know why you're not completely extinct and just, I'm talking about wiped off the map, is because you guys do got this animalistic sense of rhythm. You have this animalistic sense of acrobats and athletics.
Stubborn.
I was like, that's all. People can utilize and capitalize off of your freakish nature. Dang, Battle Axe, you gonna say that? Yeah, I'm gonna say that. People can benefit and capitalize off your freakish nature. Yeah. That's the only reason why you ain't completely irrelevant on I'm talking about on the stage of the world stage. That's the only reason why. But to sit here and try to say that we're smart, to sit here and try to say that we're tough, we're cool, we're royal, we got all this dopeness about our qualities and who he is. You're lying. That's pride. You're lying. The Bible don't say that about Israel. The Bible says that you guys suck. Look, as a people, stiff-necked, to be a stiff-necked people, that means overall, you're not the best.
Right. You don't listen. You're stubborn. You hard-headed. You know
and ain't nobody going to sit there and try to put the hard-headed one as the top, the cream of the crop. Like, yeah, you're dope. Yeah, the hard-headed, stiff-necked people. You're like, nah, man, that's not a quality. That's at the best. That's called constructive criticism. At the best, it's constructive criticism. This lets you know. So, why am I saying that? It's because we got people that's making up their own God again. They're making up their own God by trying to make up who is God's people in order to try to win them over when you're stealing from them. You're trying to say, you know, they go around and telling everybody, you're an Israelite. It's even possible that you're an Israelite too. And you'd be like, why are you telling people that when you know that being an Israelite just means that you're hard-headed? Like, that's what an Israelite is. It's a hard-headed people. And we know who's hard-headed. It's Negroes. Mexicans ain't hard-headed. Them people, man, they talk to a Mexican, you'll see. Level-minded. Speak about the Bible to a Mexican. You'll see. You be like, he gets it quick. Doesn't become argumentative unless he learned from Negroes. If he learned from a Negro, then yes, he's going to be acting like that. He's going to have that exact same spirit. But I'm talking about just deal with a regular Mexican and then deal with a regular black person. You'll see the difference. The regular black person, they actually oftentimes they actually turn around and start trying to teach you. Yeah. Even though they
just went through that this morning.
Huh?
I just went through that this morning.
Yeah.
Trying to talk to the brother right now. And he tried to start trying to teach me. And, you know what I mean? I was like, man, brother, you tripping off what the pastors is doing. I said, that's what we tripping off of. That's what the Bible is tripping off of. You know, because he tried to invalidate the Bible off of, you know what I mean, other people's behaviors or, you know what I mean, his experience with, you know what I mean, the whole Christianity thing. You know what I mean? I was trying to teach him, but he kept trying to teach me.
Right. Turn around trying to teach you. And you're like, but I'm the guy out here with the book.
Right.
I got on the teaching outfit. I got the teaching material.
Yep.
I even got some teaching equipment. I might have a microphone and a boombox, all that. And here you go. Yep. Here you go now. All of a sudden now you the street professor. That's what I'm saying. Stiff-necked, hard-hearted.
Yep.
not easily moved to compassion. Watch this. So you're like, all right, so they're stealing. Why are you saying that our people is stealing from the Mexican, stealing from the Chinamen? And honestly, I'm gonna be honest, maybe stealing from some white folks too. They stealing. Look what happened. This is why I say they stealing. You're gonna rob these people from something. You're gonna rob these people from something that God already ordained and established that they actually get to partake in. Watch this. And that actually they can be, and it's actually a benefit to be. Look at this. For thus says the Lord unto the eunuchs. You know what a eunuch is, right? Someone who has never had intercourse with a woman.
Right. Okay.
He never had intercourse. A lot of the times in those days, these guys would be castrated in some form of fashion, whether they were born with some kind of deformity, you know what I'm saying, in that area, in the genitalia area.
Yeah.
Or, you know, or other means. So he said, but today, we know who the bride is of Christ. The bride of Christ is Israel. That's the woman. But then we have someone who is not the woman at all. They actually never even had an intercourse with God like that. We got the intercourse and we got that whole bride thing is because we, you know what I'm saying, we become his church. We got the law, statutes, and commandments. We got his authority, you know what I'm saying, over the other subjects of his creation and things of that sort. So, okay, the wife. But then we got the person that's not involved in this matrimony between those two, Israel and Christ. Who would that be? That'll be the Gentiles or the heathens, the people that are not actually Israel by blood.
That's right.
That'll be the eunuch. And he says right here, he says, neither let the son of the stranger that is joined himself to the Lord speak, saying, this is the mystery. Speak, saying, the Lord has utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree. I don't have no part in this. For thus says the Lord unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbath, and choose the thing that pleases me, and take hold of my covenant. Even unto them will I give in my house, and within my walls, a place and a name, better than of sons and of daughters. Why is it better than of sons and of daughters? Because the sons and the daughters,
that's Exodus, right? Israel's my firstborn.
My bad. This is where I was trying to go. Right. I meant to hit the other button. Because look, because the sons and the daughters are actually stiff-necked people. That's their name. That's their reputation. And you want to ask about what is Israel's name? Israel's name is, they have the reputation for being hard-headed and impossible to move to compassion towards each other. That ain't Mexicans. That ain't the Chinese. That ain't white folks. Those Negroes, they all they do is want to hurt each other. Let's just be honest. All they want to do is hurt each other. Even when they want to call themselves becoming Israelites. If you're not a part of their camp, guess what? They want to wish death on you. They want to block you. They set you at odds. And you be like, y'all don't see it? Y'all don't see the big picture that we ain't supposed to do that. You're supposed, regardless of what this person, how he pronounced 4 consonants. Let's just be honest. YHWH is not even really a word that can be properly uttered in English, man. It's not even set up in an English fashion. So when you see somebody saying Yahuwah or Yehoah or Yahusha or all them things, none of that legalizes you to be able to come at nobody and try to just cast them off and sign them out of the covenant and out of the family of Israel. because you might be wrong about the way that you pronounce it too. And they feel the same way about you. The people that's going around calling YHWH Yahuwah, they don't agree that his name is Yahweh. They're not going to agree. And then you got a whole nother set of people that's looking at all of the guys that's using the tetragrammaton. They saying, all y'all's wrong. His name is Ahaya. And now you're just like, oh, okay. So we're probably never going to actually settle on the actual pronunciation, correct? Like, it looks that way. So let's not let that hang us up. Let's not let that hang us up and hold us back from moving forward together. What we need to do is actually, all right, we'll figure out how to pronounce his name later. How about we figure out how to sit amongst each other without killing each other? Can we work on that? Because a lot of y'all, I feel like you guys would stone innocent people because they don't agree with something that you're trying to strain at, which would be a gnat. So when we see in the script, he says, Israel's a stiff-necked people. And then it says in Isaiah 56, y'all better stop tripping on these folks that's not actually Israelites. Y'all got to stop tripping on them because you don't see the big picture either. Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop making this up yourself. Just follow directions. Keep it like that. He says, now, therefore, let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, that I may consume them, and I will make of you a great nation. And you see, God wanted to destroy these people and wipe them out for this worshiping of the same God, worshiping of their created God. And then you look today, and we still, even though Israel is on the scene, Israel is, for the most part, they're in line with what they're saying, the Bible is saying, for the most part. Yet we still have like inevitable curses upon us. It almost as if nothing has actually changed when it comes down to the people in whole. Like Israel being here is irrelevant. Israel can only save, himself. The rest of the black folks, they're just going to burn in hell, destined for doom and destruction while they're alive. It's like, wait a minute. Oh, no, man. Something's wrong. It's not supposed to go this way. You read the book, we're supposed to actually, we're supposed to be building the minds up, and people are supposed to actually be involved with it. Why ain't they involved? Why is the heat turning up even more? Like, oh, we worship our own God still. And I say, like, no, we're not saying and acknowledging some pre-existing God, specifically, or even deliberately. It's none of this is done deliberately. It's just the way that we choose to accept what we believe is right and wrong, and how we determine that is purely based off of our own imagination. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of people believe that God got their back, regardless of what they do, and He gonna look out for you because He know you're gonna do well in the end. That's not this book, man. But here we are, we do it. Sabbath rolls around, we ain't talking about the Bible. You see, you can listen in all kinds of conversations. Some people, man.
Yeah, it'd be easier for them to talk about, yes, than a word.
Right.
That's that flesh, they're not, that spirit ain't on them. So, they don't really know what to say. They really ain't got nothing to say, like, pertaining to that. Because, a lot of people, they read the Bible and they be like, oh, I already know that. Like, no, it doesn't matter if you already read this before. this, you know what I mean? We got to get these principles down.
Right.
So we
already
don't
know that. Maybe you need to read it again. It didn't help.
Right. Do you know that it's talking about you?
That's crazy, man. They think they know everything. That's what he's saying. That's that stiff neck. Not willing to turn from their ways in any way. If you got a stiff neck, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to turn. Your neck got to be loose for you to turn your neck. You got like a crook in your neck. You ever had a crook in your neck?
Yeah.
You can't turn your neck in that direction.
Can't turn it at all.
That's the same thing as our people, man. We don't
You got to turn your whole body.
Right. We don't turn from our ways. We actually give excuse according to our own ways.
Yeah.
And I'm not only speaking about other people. I speak on myself on a lot of stuff because I made the mistake of sitting around on the Sabbath talking with people about stuff that pertains not to the Bible, man. It wasn't long conversations, but it was enough to just say, hey, man, you are not honoring the sanctuary and keeping the Sabbath. Oh, you over here doing just like anybody else, man. This is some nigga stuff. What y'all talking about? Y'all talking about some new J's coming out? Shut up, man. Shut up. Go home. What? Pack all this crap up. Pack it up. Get back in your vehicle. Take yourself home. Stop coming out here. You ain't ready for that life. You're really not. Just listen. Let's cut all the charades. You're not really about that life, man. What you really want to do is you want to hang out with your buddies. You want to socialize, man. You want to catch up in the week. You want to do cheap talk about frivolous stuff about people that doesn't pertain unto you. Like, just be honest. That's what you want to do. You want to smoke weed. You want to drink alcohol. You want to do cocaine. You want to drink whiskey. You want to fist fight. You want to argue and deny, make excuses to not change your ways because you know that you're just having pleasure in unrighteousness. Let's cut the charades. That's what you like to do. You like to cuss people out.
Sound like they Shabbatin for, you know what I mean, strife and debate.
Huh?
Sounds like Shabbatin for strife and debate.
Yeah.
Edomite killer is in the back.
Shalom. Shalom.
The one that kills Edom.
Oh yeah. You know, the kingdom will fall, man. But we gotta rise. We gotta rise in the mind. We gotta soldier up. We're not allowed to think that everybody that soldiers up about some type of movement of force is allowed to be a little bit more. You get what I'm saying? They about that life more than God's people. I'm not saying all of them.
Who's more about that life?
There's some people out there, they're not playing. They
Who
are
you saying?
serious.
Who you saying more about that life? The Edomites?
No, Crips. Yeah. Edomites, when they join the army, when you see the Edomites join the army, hey man, they be about that life.
Yeah, they be happy for that.
They're gonna die. Some of them, they're gonna die and they know it. They don't even care.
They're tripping.
They be like, hey, I'm about to die for my country. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll fight for my country. You be like, but what if you die? They be like, I already took that into account. I'm willing to take the risk. You be like, dang.
I guess that's what you could say they do with gangbanging too.
They do that with gangbanging, man. A gangbanger is about, you know what I'm saying? The real ones, they're really about that life. That's why they're dangerous. They develop a name in the streets and people know what they do and all that stuff. Because you be like, man, oh, so he's really, you know what I mean? A gangbanger. Like, yeah, that's the real ones. Watch out for that guy. So you be like, dang, oh, so we're not allowed We're not allowed to have a bar lower. I wouldn't say it. If I was an alien and I showed up to this planet Earth and I looked at all of this in one day, and then I looked at these people that call themselves Israel, I'll be like, hey, you guys are the weakest army in existence. And then I'll just walk off. Like, what? Like, you guys are weak. Like, look at him. Look how you guys talk to each other. There ain't no order in this. Like, you guys can't, you can't go nowhere. Look how the way the world do things. Look how people conquer and take over the world. And, you know what I mean? Hold down their own. Watch how they do it. And then look at you. You'll see that you guys are running your own program. And this one right here looks like a disaster waiting to happen. You already got to do it before you guys can even get on your own. You already want to see half of each other dead. You guys haven't even gotten out of the jail cell yet. And here you is, foaming at the mouth at each other. And then you say, this is all under the name of God? No, man, don't, listen. Leave God out of your foolery and all your debauchery. Just leave him out of it. You want to be, you know what I'm saying, violent and crazy and drunk and wild? You want to chase women and have multiple sex with all kinds of different folks out there? Hey, man, to each his own. But please do not confuse your crazy behavior with like Godship and godliness, because then you're gonna make somebody think that it's something that shouldn't be taken serious. Or if they do take it serious, they're gonna undermine it and probably display your behavior.
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. Like how when people be coming like, oh, because they see one of us doing something crazy, they be like, oh, y'all with that wickedness. Like Tamika be coming through tripping.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
God always sent her to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
nah, but like it's like, why you gonna come through if that's not what's in your heart anyway? Then why you just don't go do your own thing?
Stay home.
Why play the front?
Right.
Like Ace look say, I'm like, I'm not Shabbating today, bro. I'm finna go hump on these 3-4 women and try to get me a menage a trois. Then go do that. Like, you know, come over here and then, you know, got everybody seeing you over here and then, but that nigga just over there, now that nigga over there trying to do the menage a trois.
Come on, man. People.
Or when that nigga just over here, now that nigga over there doing powder cocaine.
Right. People are looking at you like that. They'll look at you like, wait a minute.
Like, no, them niggas is fake. Them niggas is fake. Cause like somebody was telling me, like, I be hearing y'all cuss all the time. I ain't finna be going over there preaching with y'all. Y'all fake. I be like, well, some people cuss because of anger. Well, they be doing drugs, talking to women. I'll be like, oh shit.
That's
like I said, I can't really say too much. I'll be like, yeah, it's a few of them niggas that'll go do some stuff.
What can you say after they say the truth? And then
that's why I understand what you were saying last night. That's why I didn't say nothing. I was just like, we got chastised. This over with. Leave that alone.
Yeah, we gotta chastise ourselves. That's the best thing to do is to hear it from ourselves, because I'm telling you, man, when we don't want to hear it ourselves, God steps in, and he's always looking to trip on us. He said, when I visit y'all, he said, I'll visit you guys to kick your butts. He said, that's what I'll do. When I show up, I'm just gonna come through and wreck in effect. And I'm like, I don't want no wreck in effect. I don't want to be wrecked in effect. Man, bump all that, man. Y'all don't have to change your behavior. And I'm gonna tell everybody, like, no, man, y'all messing this up. Change your behavior, because y'all gonna call us and get wrecked in effect.
Yeah, like that one day when we were supposed to be cutting the lamb and stuff, and I left with the gang members. Yeah. And got shot like 2-3 days later. Oh shit!
You know, the next day.
Yeah,
it was the next day. It was some type of day later. I was like, damn, I knew I should have been doing that Shabbat, man. Let that nigga take me out my comfort.
It's crazy too, because you're the dude that I can see. I'm like, dang. So God literally immediately addresses you instantaneously. He doesn't. I'm talking about.
Okay. I was reading. Okay. Like, I was looking at that script, the last sermon y'all did on the live, and Yael.
Yeah.
He was talking about Yael, and it said like how Abraham he had did they kill his daddy? But Terror, they killed him, huh?
Yeah. He
For
got
them
killed.
exact reasons, he wasn't following the commands.
Yeah, he kept making them graven images and things like that.
Yeah.
You see?
The dude was making his own God.
Yeah, and Abraham was telling him like, "What can I do for you? Just cooked your food. I burnt it to ashes."
That was tied up.
Yeah, I was like, "Damn, the Most High killed his daddy though for him not listening though. Like,
Yeah,
he
man.
was a doer and a seeker of idols. I
Yeah.
have to get him out of here."
That's how that's the fear that we're supposed to receive from those acts. We're supposed I get scared when I see that.
Christ was wanted by the Bakersfield police for a connection with attempted murder.
What? Oh, okay. I know that was okay. I can tell something in the background. No, I'm saying, I'm like, man,
That's fucked up.
that right there scares me, man. It scares me to the core. I get real scared. I'm gonna say it. I get feared, and I don't feel fear like that, but I get scared.
Told you there's
When I think about the activity of God, I'm like, dang, man,
They'd rather rob somebody.
we could get into a lot of trouble messing around with. We can get in a lot of trouble messing around with that entity. I'm talking about doggy. You can get yourself into a pickle. That's why I just like, hey, man, y'all. Somebody got to step up and say something, including to even the other Israelites. Y'all got to stop just stealing from the Mexicans. And I'm gonna tell you like that. Y'all stealing from the Native Americans and the Mexicans. Y'all stealing from them. Y'all trying to make it seem like being called an Israelite is just like the biggest deal in the world. You know, it's a big deal when you're trying to solve the problem and you're trying to figure out who is who. But you're not doing a lot of people a favor when you're taking away from them receiving that better name than the sons and daughters.
God.
It's a biblical it is a biblical prophecy. It will be fulfilled. Even if it has been in the past, it will get done again. And y'all gotta, you know, at the end of the day, we gotta stop blocking them people from getting that. You gotta stop blocking them. You can't say, hey man, you can't get with these law, statutes, and commandments because you're not Israel. Or you can't say, oh no, you're Israel. When they're not Israel. Their spirit doesn't say that they're Israel. They're not stiff-necked and hard-headed and corrupted, vicious toward their own, unloving. They're not those people, man. I kicked it with Native Americans. They you know what I'm saying? It's the real deal, man. What you imagine Native Americans, how they would be, is what you get, man. I'm telling you the truth. They just kind of sit around with each other. You don't hear them fussing and fighting, yelling and screaming. Nobody's getting hauled off. Nobody's getting held back. People don't be leaving from the crib with the tires screeching, yelling out obscenities as they leave. None of that, none of those things transpire amongst the other nations, man. And that's a good thing, because that stuff right there is bull. It's a bunch of BS, man, that we got to deal with all the time, man. That's why they say, oh, yeah, our spirit confesses that we're Israel. People be like, you see? Toodaloo, you see that? Because we're charismatic and we can slam dunk and everybody sees us and they like what we do. You know, like,
watch
man,
League of Legends videos ad-free and learn to win uninterrupted. Try YouTube Premium.
And you're hard-headed. That's your spirit. That's the spirit that confesses that you're Israel. Like the scripture says, these are the people. For sure, this is Israel, the people that do not listen to the words of their God. Like, come on, man. He doesn't know how to determine who Israel is, and it's not from good qualities. It's from all that BS that we call, you know what I'm saying, that real nigga being real. That's why Dave Chappelle made that skit when keeping it real goes wrong. because being a real nigga, being real, is actually just completely discombobulated and dysfunctional as a people. Yeah, I said it. Dysfunctional. And Moses besought. Here we go. And Moses besought the Lord his God and said, Lord, why does your wrath wax hot against your people, which thou brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and a mighty hand? Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from your fierce wrath and repent of this evil against your people. And this right here, God did not start killing people. All right. He's speaking beforehand because God just said to him, all right, basically clear out the way. Let me stare at these folks so I can build myself up to kill these dudes, so I can get angry enough to just kill them. And he's like, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Why you gonna kill them folks? Well, today I see it, I'm like, Israel, actually the real Israelites that call themselves Israelites, they're not being killed like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say every last one of them has never died. I'm pretty sure somebody's going to search up on the internet. Look, he was an Israelite, he did. So I'm just saying, we're not, as a people, God has not exterminated Israelites. Like, all right, y'all Israelites is foul. Some way or another, extermination. Get out of here. That ain't happened. So we're like, okay, all right. But we still see that the whole people group, which we are a part of, blacks, whatever, you know what I mean? They get in the blues, all right? We out there marching up and down the street and darn near every city in America so far within the last couple of years about somebody that's been murdered unjustifiably by the police and stuff. So we're like, all right, is this something that it'll make one right now and ask this same question, right? You know what I'm saying? At this point in time, even though we're not completely consumed, it will still make you ask right now, like, God, for what reason? Wait, God, Lord, why does your wrath wax hot against your people right now? We see, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt, or the mental bondage in your mind now, with great power and with the mighty hand. He said, wherefore, for what reason should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out? Because they probably saying that right now. It's like, you see look how them Israelite dudes. They woke up, they call themselves Israel, they call themselves the Black Hebrew Israelites. And then look at them. Look at the Negroes' overall condition. It's even worse. It's almost as if they worship in Moloch. Why are you right? Because that's one of the indications that you can look for. Is if somebody becomes even worse than what they used to be after they have went through some kind of event or epiphany or some rite of passage or whatever. Went through some kind of change or process, and he comes out worse. That's Moloch. I'm talking about. I'm speaking from the perspective of somebody that whoever made this, whoever's dealing with this, whatever this is what they determine based off of you getting worse. That is, oh yeah, this person is under the spirit of Moloch. The devil got this guy. He's worse.
JWoodBeats.com.
So he says, for what reason should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from your wrath and repent of this evil against your people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants. Today, we still say the same plea. God, please stop killing. Please set us free. Please cause these people to stop killing us. Look, we got Israelites back on the scene. They're here teaching the law, statutes, and commandments. That should be worth something. Haven't we progressed? He said, to whom thou swearest to thy own self and says unto them. I don't know what just happened.
JWoodBeats.com.
He said, remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thy own self, and says unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven. And all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. And the Lord repented of the evil which he thought to do unto his people. And I will say that's the reason why we're not extinct. That's the reason why the white man didn't get let loose on us when they were talking about trying to call us this hate terrorist group when two black men, supposed to have been quote unquote black Hebrew Israelites, went up there and stabbed up them Jewish men up in their synagogues. They was trying to make a sting operation and stuff like that against the Israelites. But nothing came of that. Instead, they ended up getting heavily distracted with the plague and the economic disparity, and then on top of that, what happened at the Capitol and everything else. Now we got the war. So God is making sure that they are definitely preoccupied than to sit around here and try to fight the American people, and particularly the black Israelites. But look what else is going to happen. He said, and Moses turned and went down from the mount, and the two tables of the testimony were in his hand. The tables were written on both their sides. On the one side and on the other, they were written. Whether in Christianity or completely the truth, Israelites. We got the law, statutes, and commandments. And the table were the work of God. And the writings were the writing of God, graven upon the table. So we have clear examples on how this book was. We got clear examples on how the people in this book are supposed to conduct themselves, and we got clear directions in this book. If you don't have an opportunity to see those people very often, you can read up on where they got this information from and how they conduct themselves. And I'm speaking in particular about certain Israelite camp brothers that is on point. I know that they teach some strange doctrines and they in the process of worshiping their own God, but for the most part, they do have the Bible understood when it comes down to what you can and what you can't do, especially when you're going to be following after Christ in that camp setting, in public, waking your people up or warning your people. I rather just use the word warning instead of waking. So, and when Joshua heard, look at this. And when Joshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said unto Moses, there is a noise of war in the camp. What? There is a noise of war in the camp. And I'm going to say it. So when you're sitting out there and you're supposed to be gathering on the holy day, let's say you wanted to go do some street ministry, and you're doing street ministry, so-called, but you ain't out there with the Bible. You ain't actually even talking about the Bible. You guys are having side conversations about some frivolous, dumb stuff. That right there would appear from the distance as if, oh man, there's some Israelites over there putting in work. Like, that was the noise of war. And he said, it is not the voice of them that shout for mastery, winning a debate. Neither is it the voice of them that cry for being overcome, being frustrated because they're losing the debate. He said, but the noise of them that sing do I hear. Sitting around, eating and drinking, playing music, basically just trying to have a little kickback for the Sabbath. Well, if you want to have a kickback on the Sabbath. You might.
Wasn't we just reading this last night?
Yes, but we didn't get to finish it.
Oh! You not let that go. All right, go ahead on. I ain't tripping. I just whoa. I said I ain't tripping. I'm just like, whoa, he's serious. Go ahead, get it on.
Well, you know what I'm saying, man. I'm like, look what's going on. They've seen this stuff, and I was like, wow, it shook me to the core when I saw it, because I was like, dang.
Not just like, look, this the first time you preaching it, or?
Yeah, this is the first time I actually. Yes, it's the first time I ever saw it. Like,
oh, you never read this before?
No. This is the first time I ever saw anything in it.
Oh, okay. I understand what you're saying. All right.
Yeah, when I read it before, I didn't see nothing. You know, I would just read it, and it would just kind of raise eyebrows, because it was a long, extensive section of what transpired with the Israelites. But then I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, yeah, all right, the Israelites are stiff-necked. They immediately worshiped another god when it came out. What am I going to do with that information? And then nothing came to mind, so I just moved on. It was one of them things where I'll tell you guys, you'll catch me, I'll glaze over something. And it's because I don't know. But I'm not going to just keep on saying it all the time. But you get the hint. You were like, okay, he elaborated on like 5 verses back to back, but then like 2 verses, and it got kind of murky too. And he just glazed on through. You were like, what was that? You didn't know. Just didn't know. And I'm not bold enough to sit around here and just start trying to pretend and winging it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Might end up saying some wacky stuff. So you look right here, and he said, what do I hear? I don't hear. He's like, I don't hear no warriors. I don't hear no war. He's like, I hear a party. What? I don't hear no war. Yeah, them niggas over there partying. Oh man, they partying on the Shabbat, talking about we worship and enjoy. Man, who do you think you fooling? You got to be kidding me. And I'm talking to myself. Akmalak knows that I'm saying this to me. He knows he heard me say this.
Yeah. Huh.
He's like, this dude will trip on himself. He don't even care. Why? Sometimes pain feels good. You know what I mean? Makes you appreciate the non-pain.
Yeah, because a lot of people, you know what I mean, you got it. Nowadays, you got to kind of, you know what I mean, reprove yourself, because a lot of people won't reprove you, because a lot of people is like lost in this world, and they, you know what I mean, they don't want to correct themselves or reprove themselves too as they reproving you, because it'll go against what they doing too. So they're like, you know what, I'm just going to not say nothing.
Right. And I think that comes from I think that's rooted in pride. I think it's rooted in like somebody that wants to be the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like most people that figure out that they're smart and then they become biblical, you'll see it. You'll hear them. Somewhere along the line, they're trying to say that they're the dude, man. And what I mean by like the dude is, I'm talking about they think that they're the top. They might even be bold enough to just say that they're the Messiah. And you be like, what the heck? What is all of that, man? You like, whatever, man. Me, I'm just, I'm just gonna say that I ain't the dude. I'm just a dude. How about that one? I'm a dude, man. Just some dude. I'd rather just be some guy. I used to call myself some guy. SUMGAI. That was my name. I made it up. Wait, what's your name? Some guy. What? Some guy. You're like, why? Because I don't want to be the dude. Being the dude, man, you better make sure you know what you're talking about, man. Better make sure that you got this all figured out. And I know that, but it's the way that people act. They don't know shit. Excuse my language. That was a slip up, but I meant it. But they don't know jack. They don't know jack. Now watch this. And it came to pass as soon as he came near unto the camp, that he saw the calf. He saw the calf and the what? Dancing, singing, dancing on the Shabbat. And this is not only just Israelites now. Let's get off of them. Let me go ahead and just burn my eyes down on you Christians, you Catholics. That's what you really, really are. You're just another denomination of Catholicism. And what did they do? On Sunday, they're going to drag themselves in. They're going to drag themselves in over there into that church house, into the, into that Kirk temple of Kirk, right? And they're going to worship the sun god with a hangover. Sunday morning. But what are they going to be doing on the Shabbat? They're not going to be going to war. They're going to be making noise on the Shabbat, but it ain't going to be no noise of mastery or noise of being overcome. It's going to be songs being played. They're going to be barbecuing. They're going to be eating and drinking, playing around. And what? Damn.
Yo. Am I still here? Yo. Edomite killer. Battle axe. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, he must have fell off.
Who?
Battle axe.
Fell off?
Yeah, the music went off and he went off. I thought I lost connection for a second. Yeah, Battle Axe got a point though. You know what I mean? What they gonna be doing on the Shabbat? They gonna be sitting there eating, drinking, and dancing, man. That's what they do. Oh, okay, Spider-Man. He said that Battle Axe cut out. Okay, yeah. No, man. So far, the lesson is on point, man. We gotta actually start abiding by this Isaiah 58. We can't go off. We can't go astray from that scripture. You know what I mean? Because that's a certain commandment that the Most High commanded in Isaiah 58 and 13 and 14. He said, if you turn away your foot from the Sabbath, from doing your pleasures on my holy day, call the Sabbath a delight. So whatever your pleasures is, you know what I mean? You want to hang out, smoke, drink, talk about blah, everything outside of the word, man. No, man, drop that. Turn your foot from doing that. Call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord, honorable. Honor him. That's how you do it. You got to honor him, not doing your ways, nor finding your pleasures, nor speaking your own words. So if you find yourself doing anything outside of that, which is doing the Most High's ways, finding what pleases the Most High, and speaking the Most High's words, you going off if you're not doing that. You ain't honoring the Sabbath. It says then, like once you know what I mean, you honor him by not doing your own ways, nor finding your own pleasures, nor speaking your own words. It says, then shall you delight yourself in the Lord, and I will cause you, talk about the Most High, to ride upon the high places of the earth. He said, "You're gonna feed us with the." We know where that's at. And when God says that if we follow His commandments, that He'll put us above. You know what I mean? The let me get this scripture. He'll put us above all people, and He'll make us a peculiar treasure. Yeah, He said, "And feed you with the heritage of Jacob, your forefather." I mean, Jacob, your father, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. See, Exodus. I think it's Exodus 30. It says, now therefore, if you will obey my voice and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. What did Matthew say? Isaiah say, Isaiah 53 said, Isaiah 58. Let me get it. I gotta get it on the screen. Yeah, battle axe in here. I wonder what happened. It says in Isaiah 58 and 14, thou shalt delight yourself in the Lord, and I will cause you to ride upon the high places of the earth. And then you go back to Exodus 19 and 5. Now, therefore, if you obey my voice and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for the earth is mine. And you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. How do you become a kingdom of priests? By on the Sabbath, you turning away your foot from the Sabbath, from doing your pleasures on a holy day. Call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and shall honor him, not doing your own ways, nor finding your own pleasures, nor speaking your own words. That's how you get that rulership, that kingdom of priests. You'll be learning those laws, statutes, and commandments. So therefore, you become a kingdom of priests and a holy nation, a set apart nation. Holy means set apart. You'll be set apart from all these other nations in their abominations that they do. These are the words which you shall speak unto the children of Israel. That's what the Most High told Moses to tell the children of Israel. If y'all obey the voice and keep his covenant, you're going to be a peculiar people. No more sitting on the Shabbat, man. Doing your own pleasures. No more, you know what I mean, striving for debate. Look it, let's get it right here. Let me go just up. Read Isaiah 58:1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up your voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, in the house of Jacob their sins. That's what you're supposed to be doing on Shabbat. Because this is and it says, yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways as a nation that did righteousness. And for what he said, as a nation that did righteousness, and forsook not the ordinance of their God. So this is what God is saying. Their people is going to him. They seek him daily to delight to know his ways, as if they've been a righteous nation, and forsook not the ordinance of their God. Knowing they did, though. These people wasn't a righteous nation and isn't a righteous nation and has forsaken the ordinance of their God. They ask of me the ordinance of justice. They take delight in approaching to God. Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not. So, I mean, they think it's about fasting. No. Look, it's about keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou take no knowledge. Behold, in the day of your fast you find pleasure and exalt all your labors. Behold, you fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. You shall not fast as you do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. Is it such a fast that I have chosen? And look, a day for a man to afflict his soul? That's a question. Nah, God didn't say that. He didn't, tell us to, fast or Shabbat, stop doing, our own pleasures. To, Salakia, is it a fast that I have chosen, a day for a man to afflict his soul? So he's saying that, hey, no, he didn't tell you, hey, stop eating food for a day you know what I mean, in order to make, you know what I mean, fulfill the righteousness. No, that's not what he said that we should be doing. Is it to bow down our head as our bulrush and expect sackcloth and ashes under him? No, we're not supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to be coming out here, waking up the lost sheep of the house of Israel, you know what I mean, guiding them back to the law, statutes, and commandments so this kingdom of heaven can be within them too. It says, will thou call this a fast and acceptable day of the Lord? No, man, we're not supposed to be sitting there in the house fasting or stop from eating and put sackcloth and ashes on our head on the Shabbat. We're not supposed to be doing that. He said, is not this the fast that I have chosen? Now watch this. This is a question. He's like, is not this the fast that I have chosen? To loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke. That's the fast that the Most High chose. He said, is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to your house? When you see the naked, that you cover him, and that you hide not yourself from your own flesh. Then shall the light break. So once you do that, then shall the light break forth as the morning, and thine health shall spring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before you. The glory of the Lord shall be your reward. Then shall you call, and the Lord shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and he shall say, here I am. You have to be doing these things in order for the Most High to hear you and answer you. If thou take away from the midst of you the yoke, the putting forth of the finger, and speaking vanity. What we just talking about, speaking vanity today. The whole lesson was about vain speech, speaking vanity, jive turkeying. If thou draw out your soul to the hungry and satisfy the afflicted soul. These people out here, man, these people, you know what I mean? You ain't gonna, not everybody that you talk to out there is gonna be sitting there having that hunger for the Most High God. There's some that's gonna, you know what I mean, keep pushing on. You know, but that's not our deal. All we supposed to do is plant that seed. But if we got somebody that is hungry, you know what I mean, and that's hungry for this word or hungry for this truth, hungry for this bread, we know what that bread is. Hungry for this everlasting water, you know, we got to give it to them. We got to fulfill their soul. You know what I mean? And satisfy them. You got to satisfy the afflicted soul. Then shall the light rise in obscurity, and thy darkness be as the noonday. And the Lord shall guide you continually, and satisfy your soul in drought, and make fat your bones. And thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water whose waters fail not. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. What? Shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations. Thou shalt raise up the foundation of many generations, man. It's saying that we are going to be establishing the kingdom, raising up the foundation of many generations, man. What else does that mean? That means that we're going to be getting these people right. And shall be called the repairer of the breach and the restorers of the past to dwell in. That word, if you look in the Matthew, it says the restorers of the Shabbat. Let me get that real quick out the Matthew's Bible. You know what? It's in the car. It's in the car. But, you know, hey, we brought it out before. And then it goes back to 13 and 14. If you turn away your foot from the Sabbath, because this is all about the Sabbath. If you looked at it all, this is all about building people up on the Sabbath. That's why I said if you turn your foot from the Sabbath, from doing your pleasures on my holy day, you know what I mean, you know how the rest go. So, and that lines up with Exodus 19 and 5. If you obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then you should be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. So, Khan, I'm finna call Battle Axe and see what happened. I'm finna play a jam so y'all don't just sit there in silence. No. Yo, let me know if y'all can hear this. Y'all hear that?
Suave. Hey, evil eye towards your bro, evil eye towards your bro. She on drugs, but that's his mom. She on drugs, but that's his mom. I look up in your seat, I look up in your seat. Y'all get told with me and bitch, y'all get told with me and bitch. Evil eye towards your bro, evil eye towards your bro. She on drugs, but that's his mom. She on drugs, but that's his mom. Hey, I look up in your seat, I look up in your seat. Feel like the devil getting busy, like the blood on me. Protecting verse, my people under the curse. All the main people going through that pain, still hurting. Who the ones who had them chains around their neck for purchase? They even switched out names up, they switched it up for certain. Separate your family, they know that that's damaging. No father in his house, seeing the streets, he told in magazines. We was in that field picking cotton before they had machines. Now we in that field pick each other for that fucking free stuff will make you wonder. Why they on top when we stay under, we stay under. Why they on top when we stay under, all of this will make you wonder. Why they on top when we stay under, it'll make you wonder why. Hey, evil eye towards your bro, evil eye towards your bro. She on drugs, but that's his mom. She on drugs, but that's his mom. I look up in your seat, I look up in your seat. Y'all get told with me and bitch, y'all get told with me and bitch. She keeping them from his kids, Deuteronomy. This new girl won't stop nagging, Deuteronomy. And brought another man's baggage, Deuteronomy. I swear these curses everlasting. I pray I'm covered in armor like John Madden. And please fill me with the fruits you see I'm lacking. The heart damage, we still Green Bay packing. It started ends in the mind, but we still look for signs. She can't find a righteous man, Deuteronomy. The last one caught the ooh-wee, Deuteronomy. And made his woman unclean, Deuteronomy. I swear these curses everlasting. I pray she covered in armor like John Madden. And please fill her with the boy you see her patching. Heart damage, she still homeboy happy. All you see is getting tragic.
Yo, back, Battle Axe, is in the back. I can't let you in, Either my killer. Battle Axe ain't here. I don't know. I can't control the panel. I see you in the back. I'm calling him right now. He ain't answering though. Yeah, because I know that this Exodus 32 has still got some gas in it. I know we ain't done with it. Yeah. We still got like 15 more verses to go. Hold on. Well, any questions y'all mean in the chat so far about? Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was getting good. Yeah, it gets better. It gets better, man. Shalom, Lance. Shalom. Yeah, we was going through that Exodus 32, trying to making a correlation, you know what I mean, with modern times, that what happened in Exodus 32 don't just apply to the Israelites back then, it also applies to us, you know what I mean, now. Battle Axe was doing a good lesson on it, and he fell off. I'm gonna call him one more time. See what's going on. Because I don't want to just finish the lesson, you know what I mean, without battle axe right here. That's why I went to other. Let me go right here. Poetry. Lot. All right. Yeah.
The gates of hell have you scared, nigga. You wish your fair beef for bail. She said, oh well, nigga. Got demons calling my cell. They horny asses won't bail. They burn well, so I choose to stay faithful. See the fire, a lake of liars flow my way. I'll make these niggas behave. But the God OP keep me safe. I'm allowed one to stay that way. But the OBIs ain't no one safe. She my over thighs over the ice day. I'm a dip trying to find a better way. I'm always from fire, stick over hate. Can't stay alive, get on my face. I strategize, slow incidents like Santa Claus. I speak from my heart, then no applause. Say from my soul, ain't they at denied. Taking eye, trying to get lit, let's light the fire. Bob the head, moving side side. You don't fuck with it, then I say goodbye. Ozor the heat, cause I in the fire. Burning, with the temperature rising. Yeah, burning, something you won't like. Yeah, burning, see the flames in your eyes. Burning, see the flames and alright. The gates of hell ain't you scared, nigga. You see the smoke you inhale, you got no clear picture. Pick me up, down by the system through my praise to God. Hoping they ain't miss him. Cause my hairs I look like shit. Erica off and you hot as a bitch. Them apartments have roaches, rats, and other shit. They pits and ghetto niggas love the action. Heat strokes from the heat, so grab the H2O. Stereotype, some people think that I'm a criminal. Young black, maybe mental. Corrupt your rhymes like I blow with the wind, so a spark will start a flame like a page to my pencil. A love will start a raise, heartbreaks and trust issues. These days love don't exist, the lust just burning, with the temperature rising. Yeah, burning, something you won't like. Yeah, burning, see the flames in your eyes. Burning, start blazing, alright. The gates of hell make you scared, nigga. Call me connect, if you don't like it, I don't care, nigga. My name reflects what I wanna do with my fans. I'm in it for all of the bands. Don't get me wrong, my itchy hands need all the cash that I can grab. People faking they death, feel like I'm stabbed in my back. You feel dead to me, you whack ass human, you fucking sad ass human. All these people I'm losing, and you choosing to be foolish. Y'all did not know I could rap. Yes, brother, yes I do this. Make you fall in love like Cupid. You say that I go stupid. I refuse to ever lose too much shit I've been through. The pain was burning, with the temperature rising. Yeah, burning, something you won't like. You won't like. Burning, see the flames in your eyes. Burning, start blazing, alright. The gates of hell, hear your heart racing. You scared, ain't hard to tell. Think you losing it, it's like you trapped in a cell. Who's watching over you, who making sure you doing well? Will you make it in time, or will you choose to fail? Yeah, I've been around the danger. Hate to me is no stranger. I've been trying to cope with the music, trying to control my anger. They don't respect me, get the whole world a finger. I'm living in a nightmare, thank God that I'm a dreamer. I'm a soldier, I'm a schemer, with no misdemeanors. Who turned the tip? I'm the heater, I'm the flame, I'm the leader, the mic is burning.
Yo. Battle Axe ain't answering the phone, y'all. So I know it's getting close to that 2-hour mark. Trying to see what's going on. Battle Axe ain't answering. I mean, we can't continue this Exodus 32. But I don't feel right just, you know what I mean, building upon another man's foundation. So with that being said, shalom, y'all. I'm out. I got this for y'all before I go. Yeah, the following content has been identified by YouTube community as inappropriate or offensive to some audience.
Arms and a handshake to the floor.
How much the ones classic and alive?
Splendid seeing you, sir. What captures your fancy? This lounge is very brawny. Huh?
How much the ones classic and alive?
1,000 for flat. Oh, this is a nigger of considerable talent, I assure you. 700 for Eliza? My fairest price?
We'll take the ones flat and alive.
Sold. Eliza has flat. So to the Europeans from the Africans we were sold. Had us on them ships, yeah, they had us on them cargo. Legs and arms and a hands chained to the floor. You can see your turning color purple, man, that bitch is like you can see the scars on my spine. Can you believe they had us on that poke and swine? Single foul line, one nigga at a time. Come on, I need some water, man, my mouth getting dry. Master for master, I don't know what he thinking, but he keep trying to fight. This nigga ain't shit. Make an example, cut off his neck, just so they remember it, hang up his head. Wanna get it sick, I can tell by the call. Calling on his knees, I don't think he can walk. Wasting my money, man, how much did it cost? Since he get it sick, just feed him to the sharks. Want nobody sick, we need strong men to make. With young ladies, more sex, more cradles, more kids, more labor. Then we gotta wait, cause as soon as they born, take the kid, no adoption. Then we raise them up, get them strong as ox, put them up for the auction. Got some strong young bucks, there's some pretty big witches, guess pick an option. This won't work like a horse, but ding, never ever seen a nigga pick cotton. Yeah, we the children of God. All this happened because we didn't listen to God. Cars are, say they real Jews, but they not. But they worshiping Satan, son of God. What's the Holocaust to a slave trade? Make you pay the bill. They've been beating and killing us for centuries. I mean, for 100 years. Yeah, they had people living in captivity. For 100 years. Yeah, they had people living in captivity. Captivity. 400 years of silence. 400 years of violence. 400 years of trying to get it right, and still we having a challenge. Our bodies still getting damaged. Through the Shire, we still can manage. Gotta make sure we walk in the spirit, no matter the temptation on this planet. They whip us without a whip. We got our minds all up in their grip. They control us by pumping in fear. The media play a big part in it. They know how to play with all our emotions. Got you crying, they'll make you smile. Get you mad, and then they will show something that will have everyone calming down. They can make you hate somebody you never saw or never step foot in your sight. All they gotta do is show your picture to make up a story about your life. You can be innocent, but they can paint a picture about you that is so wrong. As soon as you start going against the system, it's almost like saying so long. Look how many leaders failed, and all they was doing was bringing truth. When you get too big for your environment, they don't want you to raise the roof. They rather be on the roof. Aim, squeeze the trigger, and shoot. Using your brains and all of that knowledge, they get right by somebody's shoe. They're trying to set an example, like you better not do what he was doing, or you will end up just like him, with your family crying boo-hoo. They don't know that our power is bigger. We praising the Most High God. We are not a slave to this world. 400 years still going hard. Yes. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, the slave mentality, the slave line. This brother and I, we had the slave line. We used to rob together. We used to sleep with white women. We went to prison together. Now, don't be surprised when I say we went to prison, because some of y'all still in prison right now. Prisons of your mind. Stand up, brother.
Shalom.
Hey, what happened? Is y'all still there? I don't know what just happened, man. See, that's a trip. Because nothing happened, and this whole time I just realized I just been talking to myself. That is crazy, man. See, I just now had to. Y'all have me doing the internet whack job move. You know, you just sit online just talking to yourself all day. That's that internet whack job move. I don't know how they do it. I actually don't know how you can just sit online for 2 hours straight and you just talk to yourself. That's a sign of a mental illness, you know, it used to be at least. So, are we still live? Let me go ahead and check real quick.
I'm making waffles. Hold those waffles.
Oh, yeah, I cut out.
Little Winter, with YouTube Premium, there are no ads.
Hold a second.
Get YouTube Premium. All YouTube, no interruptions.
Man. I'm back, my bad. Hey y'all, sorry about that. Yeah, it was a 45 minute. I think I was off about 45 minutes. So I'm gonna have to end this and then see if I can edit it out. And then I'm gonna have to start it over. Or not start over, but pick up where I left off maybe tomorrow or maybe later today. But yeah, my bad. Dang. Didn't mean to do it like that, y'all. But I guess, you know what I'm saying? I guess the point was made. We all know this. The worshiping of another God, I mean, the making of the molten calf is just as equivalent as you just worshiping God your own way. We got to soldier up all the way, man. Because I don't know if y'all seen that word consecrate. Did we cover the word consecrate, Akmalat?
Nope.
Wow. Nope. We got to get it. I'm going to end it. I'm going to start it over.
Sorry.
All right. Too long.